evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sorry, I'm tired. We've been doing this for a while. This is Downloadable Opinions. My name is Brian Best. I am joined by Adam Gayton, the villainous recorder that has made me sit here for the past 4 hours.
You were not forced.
That's true.
I did not tie you to this chair.
Then why are my ankles handcuffed to the chair?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Where's the key?
Shit. So anyways, we're here talking about E3. The past 4 little bits, parts of this episode 4 that we've done have been covering all the keynotes from Microsoft, Sony, Ubisoft, and EA, and Nintendo.
Nothing, just Nintendo.
Just, it's Nintendo. Just going off about all of the things that have been announced, what hasn't been announced, the things that are going on with each of the companies, and stuff that has gone on. This last part is just to get our overall reflections of what we thought was great, what we thought sucked, and what we really thought should have been there in our kind of favorite moments as well. Yeah, to be honest, let's get started. What do you think, Adam, of this E3? Let's before we get into the winners and losers, general feel of this E3. What do you think compared to the previous years?
Well, this is the first year that I watch every press conference.
Mm-hmm.
I always skipped it, usually 1 or 2. Like I never usually watched EA and Ubisoft, especially last year. It was just pretty much Microsoft. I don't even think I watched a lot of Sony. I think I literally read the Cliff Notes and a little bit of Nintendo. Mm-hmm. This is the first year that I've done all 5, and I have to say, this was a lot of fun and a lot of frustration at the same time.
Yeah.
Because like we've had a couple rants during some of our podcasts. I mean, there's a lot of... The problem with E3 is that, of course, you're going to get to see a lot of stuff you want to see, a lot of stuff you don't want to see, and then a lot of stuff you didn't see.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we're not on the show floor. We're not in Los Angeles seeing what else is there. I mean, there's probably a lot of conversations that are going on right now with industry leaders and developers that we won't get access to. But as a general feel from the stuff that we've seen from the press conferences, I thought it was a half-decent year. I mean, it was no 2007 when we got all these major, huge games like Fallout 3, BioShock, but it definitely wasn't the worst of the years.
No, not at all. I mean, there were a lot of good games. I mean, we have Watch Dogs coming over, Tomb Raider, Assassin's Creed, Black Ops, Far Cry, Halo. We had an endless stream of at least good quality titles that we know are going to be good. Mm-hmm. So it's not like we're leaving empty-handed. Exactly.
It's going to be really interesting. We had a few things that were just like, why the hell are these being made? Like the what was that? The book,
the Wonder Book.
We had
Racketeer, which is the English riff-off that came after a horror game, which made perfect sense.
Worst segue ever. It did have its moments, right?
You have to expect it to, because I mean, gaming has become... It's at the point now that it has to have gimmicks.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, there were a lot of bad gimmicks.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That is true. But why don't we talk about the games? The games are what make the gaming convention so much fun. And we really saw a lot more of them in the EA, the Ubisoft keynotes. But I'm just going to go off on one. Halo 4, which we talked about at the beginning of all this. It looks amazing. The trailer they had for it, which included real-life actors interspliced with cutscenes and CG. The gameplay looks amazing. I think it's definitely going to be the top-selling Xbox game in the next year or so.
It depends, because it depends on what else. Because they won't beat Black Ops 2, but I think when we don't count Call of Duty, because Call of Duty will always be the big seller of the year. I think Halo 4 will probably be up there. If anything, they got competition with Assassin's Creed 3.
Yes.
That's probably the only thing that can compete with it right now, but I think Halo will still beat it.
Yeah, I think I absolutely agree with you. I mean, Assassin's Creed 3 will win overall just because they're on all the systems in terms of cash. But when it comes to actually being on the Xbox, Assassin's Creed 3, I think it's going to be a little bit less than Halo 4. And the other thing that they haven't talked about yet is multiplayer. And I really want to see Halo come back as a competitive multiplayer shooter.
I imagine, because Call of Duty had their own thing when they popped out Modern Warfare and saying what's new. I have a feeling that Halo might have its own little launch event where it'll show off some things.
Yeah.
And I mean, down the road, probably in around September, we'll probably get to see at least some trailers. There'll probably be a beta out at some point, or at least a I wouldn't be surprised if we see a multiplayer demo for Halo 4.
Yeah, I think we're going to see that with something like they had with Halo Reach was. But yeah, no, it'd be fun. But yeah, let's talk about Black Ops 2 since we're on that subject right now. It looks like a really fun game.
I mean, I had, especially a lot of people in my gaming community were really complaining about it, and I really don't know why. And
I
Yeah, I know. I'm speaking in Roman numerals now. I understand in a sense why, because a lot of people are afraid of change.
Yeah.
Because we've had a lot of years now of modern warfare. We had a lot of World War II. We ran that into the ground, and now we're in modern ages. I think inevitably it was going to have to come to the future. I mean, Battlefield's had its 2143.
Yep.
So there's no shocker.
Yep.
I'm not surprised that Black Ops eventually, especially Black Ops. I can't imagine Infinity Ward taking this license. I'm already convinced that it'll be Modern Warfare 4 next year.
Yeah.
There's no doubt.
Yeah.
But from what I saw, they're giving us a future that makes sense because it's only, I think, 13 years from now, which there's not too many big things. There's robots. Big deal. I mean, come on, think about it. How much longer is it going to be until it's going to be 3 years until Back to the Future Part 2 show 2015.
When those hoverboards aren't here, I'm going to be pissed.
We are going to be very angry.
We're going to be angry.
Where are flying cars?
Exactly.
But then again, we're still busy working on solar energy, so...
Yes. But, I mean, it's really cool. The gameplay of it, the choice systems that are going to be put in place, I think that's going to be really neat.
That's unheard of in a shooter.
In a shooter, yeah. But if they give in... like multiple different endings. I mean, that's going to be really cool.
I think they mentioned they're going to do that. So
that's going to be a really cool way
great.
of doing stuff, especially for a shooter like Call of Duty.
And thank God there probably won't be a Paragon Renegade option for anything.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's going to do really well, and I hope it blows whatever watermarks it has for Black Ops. Just
I think
completely
it will,
gone.
and I think it'll blow. Actually, it's going to be interesting because I'm not so sure it'll take Modern Warfare 3 out. Because the general reaction from people have not been so great. I still think people will buy it because it's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure it will break the record that Modern Warfare 3 is set now that it's broken Black Ops record.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I hope it does just because it will promote that kind of innovative thinking in the Call of Duty franchises.
But I feel with the ego that people have and the way they defend Modern Warfare. I have a lot of people that can't stand it, but anybody that you complain to about will run you into the ground until you submit. They will not stop because that's how much they are into the game.
Yeah.
Most of them are frat boys, which are kind of annoying, but we're 12-year-old kids. But
yeah, it's just ESRB warnings. Read them, parents.
Yeah. I don't like hearing a 12-year-old spamming the N-word left and right.
Yeah, well, I mean...
But that's another story.
Yes. Black Ops 2 will be a very interesting shooter, no doubt, and it's going to sell a lot. But let's move on from the kind of first-person shooter. Well, let's touch on Far Cry 3 right now. I'm really pumped about it because it's boobies for one. This full fleshed out single player campaign and then a 4-player co-op campaign. And another thing that was barely even touched on was there is a map editor in this game, which you never see in first person shooters.
It's funny because it seems like that's the big thing now because Portal 2 just released its own
map editor, puzzle editor,
which is great. I mean, it seems like do you remember back in the days of RPG Maker?
I remember seeing it around.
Because, I mean, RPG Maker had all its PC versions. It had a couple versions on PlayStation 2 as well as Fighter Makers. It seems like now people are enjoying the fact, especially with games like Trackmania and even Shootmania when it comes out. Yeah. The thing to do now is to let people control them. Yeah. Have you seen some of the stuff that's happened with Trials Evolution since it came out? Somebody has made its own version of a Trials Evolution track they call Rainbow Road.
Oh, yeah?
And it is the most ridiculous looking thing ever. It is literally so colorful and distracting. It is amazing. But the game's been out for maybe just over a month, and people have created stuff like mad. It's insane. When you give people the power, how much they will use it.
Well, user-generated...
Minecraft being the biggest
I was
thing.
just about to mention, Minecraft is huge because of user-generated content. And that's what we're seeing with some of these games.
I mean, even with mods. Like, you think there's Skyrim mods, and there's stuff for Mod Nation Racers and Little Big Planet. Like, you give people the tools, they will use them, and they will adore them.
This is a really big niche, but it's not mainstream just yet. And I think with games like Far Cry,
because it should be. But then again, there are some people that just do not have the mind, or they're just in a constant writer's block.
Well, I think with games like Far Cry and Shootmania, I think that is going to become more the mainstream, and we're going to see, I'm hoping, a lot more mainstream content. But yeah, moving out of the first-person shooter realm into the third-person stealth action, Splinter Cell. Blacklist, fun times. Yeah. It looks other than what I said before in the Xbox keynote, the kill system, the tag and shoot stuff, which takes away control from the player, I'm not a big fan of. I'm not a big fan of games taking away stuff from people.
And it is sad for people. It's like if Metal Gear Solid did the same thing. But I mean, the fact of the matter is they want to open up to a casual audience, so they need to. I guess it would have made more sense if they had a little control scheme for the hardcore players. But I mean, the idea is they want to make more sales.
Yeah.
They need to make the game more accessible for people who are not as good at stealth like me.
Yeah, but that's always...
I like to go in guns a-blazing. I don't like having to spend 20 minutes waiting for the perfect moment.
Can I just give like a short rant on it? Everything's about stealth action's too hard. We need to make it more for the casual player. Splinter Cell Conviction, Splinter Cell Blacklist, Metal Gear Solid 4, and what else? Even the Assassin's Creed to a degree has all gone this way of, oh, stealth action is too hard, therefore we must make it more casual, more action oriented. Oh, Hitman Absolution, which wasn't really mentioned in any of our stuff.
It wasn't mentioned on the press conference.
Please make a stealth action game, because I really like stealth action, and I want to have a game that is dedicated to stealth action.
I think it's the same way that games are now, especially with shooters and otherwise. They want to make more money. It's business. You can't make money with a niche game as much as you can if you try to broaden it. And unfortunately, it's like the conversation. Games got too easy. Regenerating health.
Yes.
No live systems.
Yep.
I mean, you think... I remember playing Sonic 3 endlessly until I could finally beat it. And when I beat it, that was the most satisfying moment.
Yeah.
I will never beat Contra in my life.
No.
Even with the 50 lives cheat, I will never beat it.
But even still, like, I would be happier if they spent more time on making the games the way... If you want to play it as a really big shooter, you can. If you want to play it as a stealth action, you can. They say that, but it always tends to lead to the... We're going to go and run guns blazing.
So basically what you're saying is if you're going to call it a stealth action game, make it a stealth action game.
Exactly. Whatever.
That makes sense. No, I'm not arguing with you.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's a business thing, and I have to understand. I don't like it, but you have to understand it.
Yeah. Assassin's Creed 3. What do you... Like, I mean, other than... I think it's going a complete departure from stealth action. But
I don't think necessarily, but it's definitely taking away from the formula.
The battleships that you're...
I don't find a problem with that because it's literally the world that you're going to live in.
Yeah, and I understand that, but I'm a stickler for stealth. Okay.
I mean, I will just say it's you know the Risen series, right?
Yes.
You know of Risen 2, the new one that they put out that's a pirate-based one.
Yes.
It's kind of funny to me that Assassin's Creed 3 has naval battles, and Risen 2, which is a pirate game, doesn't.
Huh. Interesting.
You don't even really stay on your ship. So that's kind of ironic.
Yeah, it's
kind of weird. I understand where people are with it. That it's kind of strange to see naval battles in it, but then again, it is the kind of area you're in. You are going to probably... I think at some point, I don't think they showed it in the trailer, but you have a pistol. I'm sure you can shoot the musket if you pick it up.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're trying to find the balance, I guess.
I am making a big deal of it just because it's a departure from what the series I think is supposed to be.
I think it's nice that it is.
But the thing is, it's very beautiful. The gameplay looks fun, and I think that's the overall point of the game is that it is fun, despite it being a stealth game. AC3 looks like it's going to be really fun to play, and just has all that kind of new stuff. And I'm glad that we're in the new world.
Because it's nice. As much as I love Ezio, I'm sick of seeing him.
Yeah, he had his playthrough. I'm really interested to see what it's going to be happening with Desmond Miles in these games.
Yeah, fuck you, Revelation. Or not, yeah, Revelation.
Yes.
No, Brotherhood, thank you. Brotherhood.
Yeah, and then Revelations after that.
Yeah, but I haven't played Revelations, so fuck you, Brotherhood is where I go.
Alrighty, but yeah, for people that have played Revelations, you know what I'm talking about at the end of the game. You know, it'd be interesting to see what happens with the modern world, quote unquote. You can't see the air quotes that I'm doing, but I am doing them. It'll be interesting to see what happens in there. But yeah, no. AC3, interesting. Multiplayer will be fun.
I guess we should do 3 more and do them a little bit quicker because we're really starting to lag it. Last of Us.
Last of Us, fun times. Like you said, looks like some scripted events that are going to be happening. Not so open-ended as we thought it would be. I think it's going to be fun.
It won't be a bad game. There's no doubt about that. The AI interaction is phenomenal.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go with what was my second favorite game, which was Tomb Raider. And again, like I said, I hated the series for the longest time, and this game has really revitalized it and has done something that I don't think any other company would have done with it.
Yeah, no, this is a very, very nice return to basically the
action adventure.
It's
an origin story, and it's nice. It's not like, the origin story for, I guess, God of War or whatever, anything else, where you're already still this amazing, powerful guy.
Yeah.
You are useless in this game,
yeah.
As far as it seems. Like, she is just starting to get into her own.
Yep. I like the new Lara Croft, and I hope to see more of it. I really want to play this game.
And last but not least, dun 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 dun, Watch Dogs.
So good. I can't wait to see more of this.
If we wouldn't get in trouble for playing it, I'd be playing Lonely Island's Jizz in My Pants right now.
It's really, oh my god, I can't believe that demo that we saw. It was just everything I thought. It's just a new IP that's amazing.
I mean, the concept alone is amazing, and the fact that they've backed it up with a just gorgeous looking game and what looks like a pretty decent gameplay. The shooting was the only really weird thing because it looked just like a normal third person.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, again, that's just the first little look at it, so we never know what it's going to look like.
Yeah. Okay, let's knock the rest of this stuff off. I mean, Watch Dogs is gonna be really fun when it comes out. But let's do the losers of the E3. What do you think?
Okay, well, there's a lot to talk about. I think the first one I want to say is just the music games in general, the dance games, the karaoke games,
So
and
done with
Xbox
this.
music.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but music.
You know what? I don't think this is the time for Xbox Music right now, because I think it's going to be more what Windows 8 will do, and what Microsoft is going to announce for that
it
is going to
definitely a year
affect.
too soon, and I still think even if they put it out next year, it's competing with iTunes and whatever else Apple is doing, which is just dominating the music.
Well, don't forget Sony had their own thing too, but Sony owns Sony BMG, so they already have this huge library of stuff. So yeah.
Other than, well, along with that, motion gaming as a whole, it's not that I'm sick of it. I'm sick of the way they're trying to use it.
Yeah.
Especially with the Kinect, with the voice commands we talked about earlier, especially with EA Sports' voice commands and stuff.
Yeah.
It's okay for Madden. FIFA had made no sense. And especially because, and I know it's because it's the first time we're getting used to these motions. I'm sure 2 or 3 generations down the line, it'll be picture perfect.
Yeah.
There won't be any mistakes.
No.
But because in a game like Kinect Star Wars, which recently came out, and leaning for the land speeders are terrible. Even the lightsabers were terrible. Like if you can't do swinging very good, there's a problem with motion.
Yeah. So
I think right now I wish they would take a break on it and try to figure out how to make it better first before they just keep going with the gimmick. But because people are buying it, it's inevitable. They're going to keep going.
I think people are going to have to set up mocap stuff inside their own houses in order for motion gaming to really, really work well. But we'll see about that. I mean, it's definitely coming into its own. It's only one generation in right now, getting into the second, so we'll see what happens with it. But I'm just looking off your list that you have here, and I'm completely agreeing with you on Mass Effect 3 fans.
Yeah, I think we got it out, and I'll probably bitch about it later, but
yeah.
It's just really, after the controversy they've had, and I said this to you after we finished Ubisoft, or no, EA, sorry, that every Mass Effect game so far, there has always been a new single-player mission within 2 to 3 months of the game's release. It's now been 3 months. We haven't even gotten a peep about it. They've released multiplayer stuff. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Nobody played Mass Effect for multiplayer, and especially not Mass Effect 3.
Yeah.
We played it because we love the story. We wanted to get more characters. We got 6 party members.
Yeah.
That's useless. With all the DLC, we got at least in double digits for Mass Effect 2. Even in the original Mass Effect, there was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. They really flush us down. And I'm going to go right into our next loser, EA.
Yeah.
I know this is partly EA's fault. Because EA is a money-grabbing machine. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know they were voted the most evil company in America. Bank of America is still more evil. But it's because right at that moment they were high on the list. I'm sorry. EA, I know they are making a lot of money. People are buying it up. I buy it up. I'm guilty for it too. But that doesn't excuse the fact that they are using the fans for everything they've got and giving us nothing back for it. Yeah. It is frustrating. Especially for sports, because I'm a big sports guy, to see just nothing but just heavily overhyped roster updates is just infuriating.
We need more. We need the actual fans to get stuff going.
And I mean, even when they do good games, Battlefield 3, they've killed it now.
Yeah, premium?
They've just insulted all their guys.
God.
Just with a ridiculous amount of fire that they're going to get
people
back
will
from.
have to buy. Now you think about it, people will have to buy premium in order
it'll
to play the
probably
game.
be more expensive now if you try to buy all 4 expansions separately.
Yeah, absolutely.
I guarantee you, because probably each expansion will probably be $15.
Yeah, no, then people are going to have to go out and buy it because their friends are going to get it, and then they have to get it. This is a guaranteed extra $50 from all the players that have bought Battlefield 3.
I don't blame EA for it, because that's business and it works.
Yeah.
But I do not support it.
Yeah. Sucks.
Last but not least, again, I already bitched about Sony's pre-show. I'm sorry, but as a first try, that was a terrible first impression. I wish you could have seen it because I don't think they'll replay that.
No.
They probably replayed the conference, but I'm sorry, but like if you guys are going to try something new, you better make sure that you had a good plan going into it. I don't think they had any idea what they were doing because they literally brought nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They brought some, it was kind of okay. Sound Shapes was okay, but it wasn't anything major.
Yeah.
They brought Sly Cooper back, which I think should have been on the show floor, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because having that franchise, which was big in the PlayStation 2 era, should have been there.
Yeah.
Put something else on there. Like, I'm going to go back up to Sony's list here. What could they put on there? They could have put, say, they probably could have put, say, actually, no, they didn't really have any big titles, but they could have showed off maybe, some of the other little things they put on, like any Vita
PlayStation
titles.
All-Stars. They could have shown that.
I don't think they would have, because that's too big to them.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just... You have a half an hour, and you basically wasted it showing 2 games, screwing up the audio and video, and putting on a bunch of people that we don't care about.
That was...
The only person that I knew that was on that show was Greg Miller from IGN.
Yeah.
And he was funny, because he's like, oh, who would you put in Battlestar Royale? He's like, Zeke from Uncharted, man! Because he's an intense guy, so it works that way. He was also talking, where's Kevin Butler? And I think he probably forgot that he's apparently fired too. So, but I mean, that was it. And it's just an editor that has his own show now on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's how little. I mean, come on, it's a pre-show. You couldn't have got like one at least, like D-list celebrity on there.
Well, the thing is, pre-show, and you're right, it's never going to be shown again. But I thought the Sony press conference was really decent, and really made me, like I said in the Sony podcast, it's making me a fanboy of the Vita.
Yeah, other than that, though, it really didn't have too much wow factor. EA was a frustration altogether. Sony was just it was just, okay, here's what's coming. Nintendo had a couple big things with the Wii U. Ubisoft blew us away.
Yes.
And Microsoft was kind of on both sides. They really pissed me off for a little bit, and then they really excited me for others. So I think out of all the ones, and I might as well finish this because I forgot to do it, Ubisoft is the winner for their press conferences as far as I'm concerned. I think when it came, they had the 2 biggest games on there. I don't care what people think about Halo 4 or Black Ops 2. Yeah. We knew those are big games. Mm-hmm. But we didn't know what the potential of Assassin's Creed 3 was, and we sure as hell did not know the potential of
Watch Dogs blindsided everyone, I think, at this conference. And you're right, it's not even any of the big 3 console companies. It's Ubisoft for this one.
And I think that press
conference
alone...
And I haven't even seen the press conference yet, and I'm already blown away by it.
I think that press conference alone is going to tell people that you should probably watch everything instead of just the big 3.
Yeah.
Because you would be surprised the stuff that might come out.
Absolutely. I definitely think that. But what would you like to see at the E3? What have you wanted to see?
Well, what we missed?
Yeah.
Well, there was a few things. I mean, like I said, we didn't get any Mass Effect 3 stuff. We didn't even get a date on the video that they're supposedly posting as the new ending. We didn't get any Bioshock Infinite. We didn't even get XCOM. I know they delayed the actual game. Yeah. But it would have been... Because everybody was all pumped about the RTS anyway. Yeah. And also Metal Gear Rising, that didn't show up. But most of all, and I know that they're probably going to do it next year, but the Xbox 720 and the PS4, to not even tease it when you know Nintendo is already ready, it's again like it was the year before when the Wii came out a year soon. Nintendo is now entrenching on your territory. This is the year that you needed to keep at par with them.
You know what? I think when Sony's press conference was going on, they pretty much nailed it right down. Sony has this 10-year console life cycle. They seem to have forgot about that with the PSP, but with the Vita...
To be fair, the PSP is terrible.
Yes. But with the PS3, they've said we're in our 6th year, kind of sending that point home that we've got another 4 years ahead of us with this console.
I don't think they can do that, though. I really don't think, because the Wii U, like I said, it's going to start entrenching. And if it succeeds, I'm not sure it will, Sony is going to be really in trouble, and so will Microsoft if they don't move. But... because we had the news because of the case with Bungie, that they said they have a game called Destiny that will be made for the next generation console, and the release date is next year in the holiday season. That tells me that either the Xbox 720 is coming out either next year at the end of the year, or it will be coming out next year, and they're just getting ready to start re-releasing them. But it doesn't make sense if that game would come out on the 360 but not on the 720 for a year.
The E3 of next year will be when Microsoft releases
it makes no sense, because if the console is coming out literally in 3-4 months from then, why would you do it then? Why wouldn't you at least tease it now? I almost feel like they might even have their own special event.
The thing is, we saw sales figures from about a week ago where Microsoft's Xbox is still beating out competition in terms of new sales.
It's still the most
it's an investor's thing.
One globally, not even in the States anymore.
It's an investor's thing. when you're pushing out a console that is selling this many units over this period of time. I mean, the Xbox 360 is 10 years old. It's the oldest console on the block. And you're basically going out and saying that in 2 years' time or years' time, we're going to be bringing out the Xbox 720. It's going to blow everything out of the water. Then why did we invest all this money in the Kinect? Why did we invest in
And I understand that. But like even something as simple, like we said, even with Zelda, like if they just put a little tease, like literally at the end, just put 720 at the end of it.
You know what they could have done? The Apple thing. Remember, this might not even be in any one of your radars, but at the last, I think WWDC, Apple's press event and developer conference, they pitched the iPhone 4S, and Tim Cook, who is the CEO now of Apple, basically at the end of the conference said that in the next year we're going to have a lot of really cool things coming, and it was just like basically it showed a little thing that's going to tease that there's a lot of cool stuff coming out, and we are going to see some of that stuff, and eventually I think we'll talk about it.
Like I said, I don't think they needed to literally outright say, here it is, this is what it looks like, but say, because we know it's in production, just say we are getting ready to show you what the next generation of Xbox is.
Yeah, if they said that
that's
one line,
all you had to do.
Yeah, people would have gone crazy for that.
Just because that's the speculation. That's when it starts. That's why if what Bungie has released is true, and there really is a game coming out next year in the fall.
Yep.
That means the console must, at least at some point at the end for the holiday season, and it would make sense to. That's why I think if they didn't announce it now, there's no way it will first be announced at E3 next year. I think it will probably be its own launch event.
Okay.
It only makes sense to me that way because 3, 4, 5 months before it comes out is too late. You're not going to get the hype as much as you would if you let a year for it to simmer.
Yeah, and PlayStation is going to be another couple of years, I think, because in terms of hardware, they've got the most stuff behind them. They got Blu-ray, they got the cell processor, and the graphics capacity of it is so high.
Blu-ray, but
yeah, they're fine for the next little while.
They'll be okay.
But anyways, I think that's pretty much it for us.
The only other question: what was your favorite moment that you saw the whole time?
Jeez, Usher? No. No.
I'm sorry,
Watch
guys,
Dogs.
We're not allowed guns here up in Canada, so I can't shoot them down.
Watch Dog was probably my favorite moment. Just like I didn't even say that. Like I haven't seen the press event, but the trailer was amazing. Favorite moment. Otherwise, during the event, that's pretty much it. To be honest.
Personally, wow, I just lost my voice for a second there. I think it has been too long. Personally, for me, it was Matt Stone and Trey Parker. For guys that, like I said, we know are the funniest guys around. Like the only thing that could have been better is Seth MacFarlane came out to advertise the Family Guy game that's coming up, but that one's not going to be nearly as good. When we live in, I'm in an industry. I went to school for television. We're used to teleprompters, so it's obvious to tell when somebody is, and the whole time you can tell because they kind of look over for a split second and go right back to the center because they forgot what the hell was next.
Yep.
For Trey and Matt to come out and literally bash everybody for using the prompters and even bash their own creations to sell a few extra copies, that is genius.
It's really cool, and that's great on them. But anyways, I think that's going to be it for Downloadable Opinions episode 4. Thank you guys for sticking with us through this entire event. E3 is the Super Bowl of the gaming, industry, and thanks for sticking with us for all this.
Can I just say one thing before we go? I was really excited for this. E3 was a big event, but I'm more excited because we're getting to use this baby here. For some of you tech guys here, if you probably noticed, some of our recordings are a little iffy. We're using over Skype with kind of iffy, USB microphones or laptop mics.
There's a lot of things that go wrong with it in terms of quality.
Obviously, I've been typing as a professional, so it's been caught in here. In the third podcast, my dad came downstairs and yelled into the background. I think my brother had his girlfriend over, and she was laughing a little bit in the background, too. So this is the first time that we've been in a relatively quiet room, and we're using this portable studio that I have. It's a Boss digital recorder. It's a BR600, for those of you that are big on techie stuff. This thing, I think it cost me about $400. It takes compact flash cards. Like this thing has given us, the first one was 38 minutes, and we could probably go at least 45, I think, on this thing.
Yeah.
And the quality of it is just ridiculously good. I bought this originally because I'm a musician. I wanted to record with an acoustic guitar and sing into it, and I developed writer's block. So for this to be a nice option, it's a lot clearer. I'm very happy that we've done this. And, this is the first time we even talked together face-to-face. Yeah. So the reactions have been a lot better. We don't constantly interrupt each other like we did in the last 3 podcasts, especially when it was you, me, and Amsel, when it was really hectic.
Yes.
So this is a nice change. I love that we do this. I loved getting the chance to spend so much time. My knee was killing me at the end of yesterday because I've been sitting still for so long. I literally was limping to bed last night. But this was probably the most fun I've had ever covering anything, even through 3 years of television. And I used to do AHL hockey games in Hamilton and got to meet Doug Gilmour. And this is still intense for me. So thanks so much, guys, for watching, whoever you are. If you made it through all 6 episodes, I'm impressed.
Hey, you know what? I want to hear from you in the comments section. If you can say, like, if you've stuck through the entire thing and you listened to all this, thank you for coming out.
And if you want to just say that we suck, just go ahead. We'll take it. And
dislike everything, all that jazz.
Yeah, we want to see the red lightsaber on the bottom corner of this channel. So
yes, please give us some feedback. This has been fun. I'm Brian Best for Downloadable Opinions,
and I'm Adam Gayton again. I will probably have the first few radical rants coming up within the week. I know at least around Thursday I'm probably going to get a chance to record them because I'm going to be pretty busy with work now that I'm back. I had a fun 5 days off for the last little while for E3 and that kind of stuff. So I expect to see some more content. We finally got our gaming HD PVR as well, as you guys noticed, because we posted my community's Minecraft server up.
Yeah.
The plan is we're probably going to do a lot of Let's Plays, maybe some achievement tracking, some quick walkthroughs for certain sections, and I might end up getting to do demos for really big games just to show you what they look like if you don't have the chance and you don't really want to download and waste your time waiting for 2 gigabytes to download. So look forward to that stuff. We're really excited that things are really up and running. E3 was our first big event, so stay tuned. Thank you for listening. We can't wait to bring more stuff to you.
Thanks for listening, guys. See ya. See ya. See ya.